All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 4 reviews up this week. Yes, 4 actual full reviews, no impressions. Though this week, the first game we're starting out with was in early access up until about 2 days ago at time of recording, but is in 1.0 release. Which is, if I recall correctly, why I schedule it for now. So with that in mind, Wastelander. Wastelander is a turn-based strategy game where you must survive and escape from a desolate planet ravaged by powerful storms, build a colony from nothing, find and unlock unique buildings, and reactivate powerful relics to protect yourself. Will you survive and get off the planet? Well, I think that's a straightforward bit of exposition as to what this game is. Or is it? Mostly. But it calls itself a strategy game, but it's kind of a strategy puzzle game. Because what it's not telling you in the marketing blurbs, but what shows up in the tutorial is your ultimate goal. Okay, so yeah, first of all, right off the bat, this isn't one of those strategy games that's a sandbox. You have infinite creativity, infinite resources, that kind of deal, or even maybe slightly more constrained, like say SimCity, Tropico, what have you, where you don't have a goal, but you still have to work off of a system. This is more like the SimCity scenarios. Only there's one thing that you have to do, and that is you have to connect all of the alien relics together via your infrastructure. And it is important to know, it doesn't seem to matter what the infrastructure is, whether it be windmills, train tracks, buildings. As long as you got some sort of thing that you own that can junction to an alien relic, you're good. Which is probably going to play out in how you actually go about, achieving that goal, because that's the puzzle part. You got to get your infrastructure to all of these locations. With the added caveat is everything must be connected at that during that turn. Going back to what the what the materials were saying, this is a storm-ravaged planet, and that is a very heavy factor in the gameplay. In fact, it introduces some strategy players' least favorite mechanism: time pressures of escalating amounts. See, it's not just you have to complete this.
Is that time pressures in a real time thing, or time pressures in a turn-based type thing? Because this looks pretty granular.
Turn-based, definitely turn-based.
Is it turn time pressures, or is it real time pressures?
Turn-based. But
so that's less bad.
Right, but here's the thing. On let's say the easy, normal, I forget which difficulty it was, is like storms hit every 5 turns. And you'll see red squares. Those are squares that are the at risk. Basically, if the storm goes off and those squares are red, the infrastructure on that square will be destroyed. Now this could be...
Yes, this is rough. However, it is not as infuriating as being timed on how long it takes you to navigate through menus.
Yeah, nothing that evil. But here,
Yeah, that's what I was worried about when you said time pressure.
Well, here's the here's the push. Every time a storm goes off, it gets worse. So while there's no definitive storm end per se, like every time a storm goes off, it will do more damage, and it will continually escalate exponentially. So once again, that's where the pressure to complete the grand task comes into play. Now once again, there are mitigating items like these scrap walls, or I think that's what they called them. Like you put these like iron things on a space, and it'll protect that space. But the flip side of that is you only have a certain amount of these. Also, it doesn't look like you can manufacture them. You find them in the process of unlocking things during the game. Yeah. So this also being a strategy game, you're also constrained by resources. You have to take into consideration things like power, metal, water, and you have to build the appropriate buildings for that. And you get your increasing escalations. Not sure if they unlock through tech trees or just getting to relics and whatnot there as well. I mean, you definitely get like options for more complex buildings when you connect ruins and stuff. But yeah. And Petty here is demonstrating what you're probably going to be actually resorting to completing the important task. Less strategizing and more making sure everything is connected as quickly as possible. Yeah, and there's the storm. It's like, and yeah, see, the next time around, much more of the infrastructure is going to be vulnerable. That's what you got to build against. There's also things that can stop the storms temporarily, from going off at all. So that's all. That's where the actual strategy and planning and considerations of resources and placement and all that come to the fore. And I'll be honest, I did not like this strategy taste one bit. It's not really why I play strategy games. It's not how I like to play strategy games. It's just completely antithetical to how I approach these kind of games. I'm not saying it's awful or anything like that. I'm just saying, this is a very acquired taste, and I didn't like it. Like, music was shockingly good, if different than what I was expecting. Like I noticed the music here, which is not the case for a lot of strategy games, especially like the the main menu music. Kind of weird there. Anyway, any more questions from you, Galix, here on how this game operates?
No, I think I got it.
Yeah. Petty, you've been playing the game. Anything you want to add?
When you're not muted.
Sorry. Yeah, not really. I guess it's a game. Like, I don't have a whole lot to really. This is definitely one of those not my kind of games.
I am definitely concerned about, also every 5 turns, X proportion of the shit that you build is going to be blown up. And you can't plan too far ahead by avoiding building things on squares that are going to be destroyed, because next time it's going to be different squares.
Yep. Like I said, I just do not like the time pressure.
I guess it's might be supposed to be a lesson in redundancy, but still.
And I guess, like, time pressure to me is more something you put for, like, a scenario mission in a story mode, not your general game mode.
Yeah, I'd agree to that as well. Like, I think this game is suffering for not having a, maybe not main mode, but a sandbox mode where you can build freely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of weird that that's not there.
Yeah. Like, I get it on, like, a desert planet, shit's gonna break down a lot, but...
No, nobody's saying it doesn't make logical sense,
yeah.
But...
There is logic here, but this also isn't something we're really into for that, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, but, you know, this might be exactly what some strategy folk are looking for.
Indeed.
Like, so... Like I said, it's a perfectly fine strategy game, just not what we look for in that particular genre.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, in terms of pricing, normal price is $9.99. It's got a 1.0 discount of $7.89, which is, about what I would recommend for this game. Like, even as a strategy game, it's kind of limited. That's another reason why the developers maybe should have focused a bit on some other modes or something, because, you can increase the difficulty and all that stuff, but once again, it doesn't stop this entire game from feeling like the B-side of something grander.
And you're not playing against, like, other factions or anything like that. You're just playing against the storm, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's actually a good point right there. There's no multiplayer at all, which, once again, for what they were going for, it makes logical sense, but it's also kind of belies what people usually look for in a strategy game.
I'm looking for Gandhi to nuke my ass. I mean, wait, what?
I mean, I've played Civilization, like, and that was like a buffer overflow problem, I think.
Yeah, it was literally, you hit democracy.
Apparently that maybe a rumor of some sort.
No, it was very much a thing with the older Civ games. It was patched, but the unpatched versions, if you hit democracy, you would buffer underflow Gandhi, and he would be a absolute maniac.
Yeah. So, once again, that's where we stand on this particular title. And that'll about do it for Wastelander. Be sure to tune in after the break as Petty Fan reviews Consortium Remastered.